morning, everybody. We're here today to announce some good news, which is in our day and age maybe not too reportable, right? But we're going to give it a try anyway. So we're standing here at the edge of the Acushnet Avenue International Marketplace parking lot at the corner of Cogsall Street and Route 18 to share some progress we've made on the build out of our electric vehicle fleet. You've heard an awful lot about New Bedford's leadership in green energy and energy efficiency, and sometimes it might seem like a little bit of hype, but I can tell you it's all very real. New Bedford recently was recognized by the U.S. Conference of Mayors among all the cities under 100,000 folks around the country as being the leader in climate protection because of our solar program, because of our electricity aggregation program, our commitment to offshore wind, our recycling program, and so many other things, including our commitment to building out a fleet of electric vehicles. So we're very pleased today to report to you more progress still, more coming to be sure, but today we're commemorating a particular milestone, and that is that we have converted now more than a quarter of our vehicle fleet to electric vehicles. And this announcement makes New Bedford's electric vehicle fleet the largest of any kind of any municipality in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So of the 351 communities in Massachusetts, we're tops, and that's something that we're very proud of, because when we introduced electric vehicles in June last June, we retired a bunch of vehicles that we had in place since the 1990s. So the replacement itself helped out an awful lot, but now we're up to over 25% of a passenger fleet of 70 total vehicles, and Bedford is so. To be specific, Bedford is actually 19 vehicles that are new Nissan Leaf models, which are used by both the health department as well as the public schools in its everyday uses. So what we wanted to impress upon people is this. These vehicles are extremely efficient. They travel the equivalent of 126 miles per gallon, the equivalent of a gallon of gasoline on our city streets. And they're really efficient on city streets because traditional gas consuming vehicles have a low mileage on local streets, as we all know. So 126 miles per gallon is what we get. And we have greatly reduced the emissions from our vehicle fleet over that period of time. So another really important added benefit. I want to thank a lot of folks for helping us achieve this goal. I want to thank in general the Bedford Mayor administration for incentivizing this kind of program. The state provides incentives, and New Bedford is as aggressive or more aggressive than anybody else in the state in taking advantage of it. We're all over it, and we've got to be. We're a city, as we all know, that is constrained for resources, so we have to think big. We have to act. We've got to be creative, resourceful, and so that's what we're doing. And if there's anything to take away from any of this, it's that Bedford once again is punching above its weight. And that's what we try to do with everything. Be smart about the way we spend money, forward thinking when it comes to protecting the environment, and to be creative in everything that we do. So I want to thank Marty Superg, who's the Commissioner of DEP, a great friend of New Bedford, who couldn't be here today, but I know he's a big supporter of all this. I want to thank our legislative delegation for their supporting these programs. Tony Cabral, our state rep, is here today, and Tony will speak in a moment about the legislature's role in all of this. Our energy director, of course, Scott Durkee, has done a great job in this and so many other facets of what we do. Ari Sky, who you'll hear from, our CFO, and our director, commissioner of public infrastructure, Zeb Aruda, all this requires a team effort. Everybody's on board. I want to now introduce another great friend to the city, and that's DEP's Regional Director, Millie Garcia-Serrano, who's no stranger to the city, someone who supports all the things that we do here when it comes to the environment, when it comes to energy efficiency, to come on up and say a few words. Millie, thanks for all of your leadership and your support. Where are you, Millie?
Right here.
Come on up.
Great. Thank you, Mayor.
Appreciate
it. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. How are we feeling today? Good. This is a great day. It's wonderful to be here in the great city of New Bedford. Often Mass DEP finds itself in New Bedford, whether it's attending wonderful events like brownfields redevelopment, ribbon cuttings, or different schools initiatives. And today it's just a little bit of a different twist, but it definitely shows that the city of New Bedford is one of the leading cities and towns across the region when it comes to finding that opportunity that often knocks on the door once in a while. There's the city of New Bedford always looking out to see what they can secure in order to make their citizens' lives and their constituency and every single person in here live in a community that strives to look for savings and environmental protection and terrific health outcomes. Mayor Mitchell, Mr. Durkee, senators, representatives, distinguished guests, and the public. It's really, again, wonderful to be here in the city of New Bedford. And thank you for supporting our aggressive environmental agenda through your great work. On behalf of Commissioner Suberg, I can tell you that we are so grateful and thankful to you for inviting the Mass DEP to be a part of this very important day and to support this very important effort and this announcement that speaks to the zero-emission vehicles and the positive impacts that these vehicles will have in our environment. Back on Earth Day, back in 2013, Mass DEP announced the launch of the Massachusetts Electric Vehicle Incentive Program, as we fondly call it, EVIN. And it's hard to believe that almost 1 year ago, we were here in this very city, in New Bedford, to announce the very first number of cars and vehicles and the addition of those charging stations that everybody is always seeking after. So here we are again to announce all your proactive efforts and to basically congratulate you for being able to secure 9 additional vehicles. These are 9 additional Nissan Leaf electric vehicles, and also we're looking forward to the installation of additional charging infrastructure. So what about this program? So this program is an open incentive program that is administered by Mass DEP. I want to recognize one of our lead administrators of the program, Sejal Shah, if you don't mind just raising her hand. She has been instrumental in ensuring that cities and towns like New Bedford have the ability to capitalize from the opportunity of securing these vehicles. And not just the municipal and state fleets, but also colleges and universities that can also acquire electric vehicles, and by way of that also install level 2 dual head charging stations. So through this program, we always encourage the increase in the deployment of the zero and plug-in hybrid vehicles. And for Mass DEP, ultimately, it's all about generating ways that we can make the difference in the way of the air quality and generate that significant air pollution emission reduction that we seek after. So when Mass DEP envisioned this program and we thought about what was critical to ensure its success, we looked at 3 specific things. The first one being fostering a transition from the traditional energy to a clean energy economy. That was really at the forefront. Secondly, the reduction of the greenhouse gas emissions from the fleets that currently exist across the region. And thirdly, increasing the visibility of the advanced technology vehicles in the communities across not just the Southeast region, but also across the Commonwealth. And obviously, we can't do this by ourselves. So it takes a very willing partner, a partner that has the enthusiasm, the energy, and the vision. Mayor, we could not find a better partner in the city of New Bedford. If it wasn't for your city, we would not be able to send a solid message to the other communities that are also watching and also emulating everything that the city of New Bedford does. So again, it takes a willing partner. We're so excited to be here today, and really a testament to the exemplary leadership that this city provides for others to follow. To that end, the city's proactive participation in the EVEC program has been just yet another milestone attained in following through with the partnering that also Governor Baker and Lieutenant Governor Polito has set out for us to follow. And the joint commitments that we have so that we can solve the problem and the challenges that are posed by the climate change challenges that we have and that we see and we observe. So it's no secret that the transportation sector accounts for roughly 1/3 of the greenhouse gases that are emitted in Massachusetts. So obviously, a very instantaneous solution would be to start deploying electric vehicles so we can defray the actual accumulation of greenhouse gas in our environment. That's why this program is so important. This is why MassDEP strives to ensure that we can support your applications so that we can get those electric vehicles and the charging stations that we need in order to be a partner in solving this very challenging problem. And the timing is amazing. It's a perfect timing. I mean, in these times that we have such compromised budgets, having a vehicle that basically can depend on clean energy provides significant savings. So that is one thing that, again, through the vision of this administration here in the city of New Bedford, they've been able to work with all the tools in front of them to try to secure and foster more fiscal responsibility. So when you think about it, over the lifetime of an electric vehicle, an owner can actually reduce their fuel consumption by more than 6,000 gallons of gasoline over the lifetime, and basically cut our reliance on foreign oil. So over the past, a little bit about New Bedford and the program and just the great accomplishments that the city has had. Over the last 3 years, the EVEC program has awarded $1.4 million to 51 separate entities for 123 electric vehicles and around $500,000 in assistance for the charging stations. New Bedford, I can tell you, is an example of what we call if you build it, they will come. They began with 10 vehicles back in 2015, which is really impressive, and dedicated these vehicles to 2 specific departments. I was speaking with a gentleman from the school department, and he was telling me how exciting it is for him to have a vehicle that he can drive around and, get his job done in a way that's environmentally friendly and obviously resource conscious. And since then, the city has allowed the employees to share these vehicles, which is huge. In addition to that, also, all of the charging stations are open to the public. So that is another incentive that we strive to ensure that there is, the resources are basically shared amongst the region and the constituency. So I'm here to say that, we understand that the city has put in more applications, Mayor Mitchell. We're delighted to hear that. There is more money. Sejal can tell you that she still has money in the budget. So for other communities that are listening today, we encourage your proactiveness in terms of trying to also emulate the good work that the city of New Bedford has. And also, we would like to tell you that we're proud to announce today that the city of New Bedford to date has acquired the largest number of battery electric vehicles throughout the Mass EVEC fleet program. So that is super impressive. Again, leading the chart across the Commonwealth. The city has received an incentive amount of totaling $181,000 over the past 3 years, and the acquisition of 19 battery electric vehicles and the financial assistance to be able to install all of the the 2 dual head charging stations, which is really important. So not only are we providing the vehicles, but also ensuring that they are supported. So in closing, I'd like to tell you that these are the kinds of fun things that MassDEP truly enjoys, being able to go out to the community, engage with our friends and partners. There's a lot of difficult policy, regulatory work that happens, technical challenges that we need to be responsive to. But a day in New Bedford, when you come out, is always a wonderful day, I can tell you. Even if it's overcast, it's always sunny in New Bedford. We love the spirit, the innovative spirit, and the partnering that we always welcome. We're always well welcomed here in the city. And it truly is an honor for us to continue working and watching what the city of New Bedford does. I can tell you that Mass DEP is extremely active in the national dialogue arena as it pertains to dialogue that happens amongst the Northeast states and across the Commonwealth, because obviously climate change is not just a local thing, it's a national thing and really truly a global challenge. But putting our own little piece of the puzzle here, we're here to say that we are glad that we can be a conduit to facilitate problem solving, and it truly again is an honor to be here today. Again, I want to thank Christine Kirby from the Boston office and Sejal Shah, who's here today, who really put their heart out there. They really work hard. They go to every single fair. They try to ensure that there's that community sentiment and engagement. I want to thank you for your hard work, and especially to Scott Durkee, who's a #1 cheerleader when it comes to ensuring that the clean energy program is well suited here and customized for the needs of the region. So again, I want to today say congratulations, Mayor Mitchell. Really, your hard work really pays off. We're watching you, we're supporting you, and we're here to always be a presence to help you get through the next milestone. And thank you again to our partners at Nissan, the city, and everyone, Red Cabral. Wishing you all a wonderful day and looking forward to more events like this that bring out the very best of us and try to make a difference in the environment, the economic, and the energy nexus. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Melanie. Thank you again for your leadership and your support. And Sejal, if there's more money, again, make sure we spell our names correctly on those applications. The EDIP program wouldn't happen if it weren't for the support of the legislature, and our legislative delegation has been very supportive of programs like these over time, and the EDIP program is no exception. And Tony Cabral has been a leader when it comes to renewable energy, supporting the development of renewable energy sources and energy efficiency sources in the legislature. And I just, it's an occasion today to frankly thank Tony and the rest of the delegation for their support of the offshore wind provisions of the new energy bill. Really appreciate that support. That's going to be big for New Bedford, and that's something that's it's up to us now on the ground, as we've been doing over the last few years, to start to continue to cultivate the development of the industry here. But we needed that legislative support to make that happen, and through Tony's leadership, that has happened. So, in any event, without any further ado, let me ask Tony to come on up and say a few words about the program. Tony.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor, for those kind words. I'm going to start having you introduce me every time, if that's the way it's going to be. In any event, I'm delighted to be here and be part of this announcement today, this recognition. As you know, some of this started some time ago when we passed in the legislature in 2008 the Green Communities Act that really set in motion most of these programs for communities to take benefit of, and for residents as well, both from solar energy at your home or commercial, like the city has initiated as well, and really put us in the leading front in terms of renewables, in terms of trying to meet different standards for greenhouse gases, such as CO2. As you know, the state also adopted goals around reduction of CO2 and greenhouse gases to about 50% of the 1990 levels. So we're still working towards that. We'd like to meet that around 2020. That's part of the goal. And obviously, as the mayor mentioned, Sunday night, by the legislature passing an energy bill that includes 1,600 megawatts of offshore wind, combination with hydro, we are really on the path to really meet the 2020 and beyond. And I think that's great. So a program like this, and as you know, and I'm sure the mayor will say it if he hasn't said it, the city of New Bedford has been really a leader as well. The state has been a leader amongst the 50 states in terms of clean energy, renewable energy, and the city quite nicely has taken advantage, in a positive way, of becoming really a leader on this area as well, and it pays off. It pays off both, creates a better environment for all of us, it saves money to the city, and it moves us into the leadership role of providing and being leaders on renewable energy. The city, as you know, got an award for that, and we would not expect anything else. I think the residents of the city would not expect anything else other than the city leading in the area of green energy, in the area of renewables. As you know, we, in the 1800s, we lit the world, and I think we were leaders then until we discovered the fields in the oil fields in Pennsylvania. And once again, we're going to be at the beginning of that pipeline, not only through these programs of green cars, if I may use, or electric cars. I was thinking maybe I could get one to go to Boston, but I was told it only takes, what, 120 miles, 125 miles. I might be able to do it if we had some charging stations up in around the State House. It's only 60 miles each way, so we might be able to do it. That would be really an interesting thing. Yes, right? Yes, we can, right? So that would be wonderful to really be able to do that. But you know, I just want to thank the city and thank the state and obviously Mass DEP for putting together and following the spirit of the Green Communities Act and really putting in place the kind of programs that makes us lead, but also makes us safe. It makes a better place, a better environment for all of us who live in the city and in the state. So thanks again, and let's continue being the leaders both at the state level and the city level.
All right, thank you, Tony. So we also have a great private sector partner, have had a great private sector partner in these initiatives. On this particular initiative with electric cars, somebody's got to make the cars, somebody's got to sell the cars, and they do it really well at Nissan. And on behalf of Nissan is Gene Goff, who is making a return appearance to New Bedford. Great to see you again, and we hope that in the coming years you'll have many more occasions to return to New Bedford for similar occasions. And you know, we're pleased with the performance of the vehicles. They've all done very well. They've been very reliable, and they are in our both in the school department as well as in our city departments. We couldn't be more pleased with the performance. So, Gene, thank you for being a great private sector partner, and I ask you to come up and say a few words.
Thank you. I'll keep it short since this is a return visit. New Bedford really is an inspiration, and I hope with this coverage we'll reach out to many other municipalities and towns throughout Massachusetts to let them know the success story. This is really an incredible story, but every municipality can benefit by this. So look very closely at your Mass EVIP program and take advantage of it on a lot of levels, infrastructure and vehicles. But thank you, New Bedford. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Scott Durkee. And thank you for the particular hard work of Guy Bedeau to get through the details that are so necessary to complete these kinds of transactions. Thank you.
Thanks, Gene. All right, so you've heard a little bit about leadership, and it's very important that New Bedford be seen that way. We've tried to position New Bedford in the last few years as a city that is out ahead of the pack and not trailing behind. We want to do that because it gives our residents confidence that we can achieve big things, and to let the world know that New Bedford's got its act together. And that's what we're trying to do in the area of green energy and energy efficiency. That's a place where we knew we could stand out, and we have. And it's not just good for our reputation as a city, but it's also good for the bottom line. We've saved a lot of money. And that's thanks to the hard work of a number of folks, not the least of which are Ari Skye, our CFO, and Scott Durkee, our energy director, both of whom work together as a team on these matters and have done a fabulous job and really have stood out, not just across the state but nationally in those efforts. So I want to thank both of you guys for making it happen all the time on so many of these great initiatives. And I'm going to ask Ari to come on up and speak for you both about what it means from a financial perspective. Ari.
Good afternoon, everybody. So one of the first of all, before I start, I'd like to give a quick shout out to also to Tyler Reese, who works with Scott in the department, does a fantastic job, as well as the people from DFFM, Facilities and Fleet Maintenance. They really saw the value of this initiative and ran with it in the way it's been very positive, as they have in so many other areas as well that are all part of the Green Initiative. Really, the key watchword for us, or the sort of the touchstone that we lean on, is the word sustainability. That's kind of become a cliche nowadays, but it really applies. Sustainability applies not just to the environmental standpoint, but also to how we administer our budget and our resources, and how we manage the city overall. And that's really the common thread through all of this. The city has moved towards renewable technology and green technology, not only because it's the right thing to do, but also because it's the right thing for the city fiscally and financially. We've had a chronic problem in the city over the years with deferral of maintenance on buildings and non-replacement of vehicles and so forth, and we really had a significant issue. We've put together a capital program over the past few years that has allowed us to begin to address some of those areas, and our foray into green technology is one leg of that stool. In addition to what you see here with these vehicles, the city is going as in the midst of implementing a multi-million-dollar performance contract to upgrade its buildings. Every building will be touched eventually. First phase is about 19 buildings, replacing boilers, sealing buildings, replacing lighting. The city's replaced all the street lights, all of our exterior lights as well, saving about $500,000 a year in electricity expenses from that, and the list goes on and on. That's all possible thanks to incentives offered by by our utility company, by Eversource, as well as help we've received from the state for these vehicles, and also the willingness of the city council and the mayor to engage in that and move forward. These particular vehicles here are replacing vehicles, some of which were over 25 years old. We had a fleet of Chevy Corsicas, for example, that were actually on the street, were being used by our health department. The first phase replaced most of those, and they're happening to us from the city standpoint for really an incredibly cheap cost. These are leases. They cost an average of about, after all the incentives, cost an average of about $60 a month per vehicle. So it's good for the city and the taxpayers, as well as good from a maintenance standpoint as well. These vehicles require almost no maintenance whatsoever. So we hope to continue working on this as long as the state has the program available and new chances for us to go forward. We're going to be pursuing those, and we're, as well as the other aspects of the city's infrastructure as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Warren. Thank you, everybody, for making this day happen, and for all of our initiatives. I want to thank also the City Council for their support along the way, which has been very reliable in all of these endeavors. So, we just had any questions, Craig, Josh, anything? All right, I wanted to wrap it up cleanly, neatly before it started raining again. I hear it's not a good idea to stand next to an electric car in the middle of the rain. Is that true? Really? That's not true? All right, not true. Not true. All right, that was a test. All right, thanks.
Yeah, go right. Everybody move on over by the cars.
Yeah, looks, it's safe. It's safe. We just proved it. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Want to watch your local access shows on demand? It's easy. Just go to www.nbcablenetwork.com. Place your cursor over either the Channel 17 or 18 tab and click on Program Schedule. Here, you'll find a calendar and a list of shows for that day. You can watch any show that says View next to it by clicking on the word View. It's just that simple. Now you can watch any of those shows at your convenience. You can also watch whatever is currently playing on the air by clicking Watch Live at the top of the page. And best of all, our shows can be viewed from anywhere in the world. New Bedford Cable Network, bringing you original programming and keeping you informed about local government, educational, and public endeavors.